My favorite thing to cook? Well, I like all kinds of different foods, but I guess my favorite thing, I cook a lot of chicken. I like anything that I can throw in a crock pot and cook it, and chicken cooks up very nicely in a crock pot. Well, I do have kind of a funny story. When I was probably about the 8th grade, just starting to bake, and actually a baking story, I tried to make some brownies, and believe it or not, I kind of mixed up the salt and sugar. And you put just a little bit of salt in a brownie recipe, like maybe half a teaspoon, and for sugar you probably put about a cup and a half. Well, I mixed those two up, baked the brownies, they look fine, but the first taste that you took was a little bit shocking. It was just not very pleasant. Generally, my family, there's 4 of us, so usually I cook for 4. But I have, like my son graduated from high school last year, I had to cook for a lot of people, and that was kind of fun, a little stressful. And we have a New Year's Eve party every year, cook for a lot of people. I can cook for a large group, it's fun, but I'm glad I don't have to do it very often. Generally, I like new recipes. I like old classics and new stuff, so I kind of combine the two. But again, as I was saying, after the brownie incident, I generally am very good at sticking to the exact directions in a recipe. I'm starting to get a little braver though. I am going to attempt a new recipe, buffalo chicken soup, or kind of like a chicken wing soup, if you will. I'll have to let you know how that turns out. We'll see. It depends on what the recipe calls for. I do use a lot with like pre-made, kind of like the semi-homemade approach, just because I don't have a lot of time. And I get kind of overwhelmed if I look at a recipe and there's like 300 ingredients. So sometimes from scratch, but a lot of times I rely on pre-made mixes and things like that. Very rarely do I buy microwave meals. I might have a pre-made meal once a month, maybe, and that's like at a stretch. And we eat out once a week. Other than that, even for breakfast, lunch is just a sandwich, but I'll make breakfast and dinner like a lot. It takes a lot of, there's a lot of tedious work that goes into being a professional chef. Plus, in addition to that, I have a lot of food allergies that kind of make it so the things that I eat aren't necessarily the most popular items. And, as a good chef has to be able to taste their own food and make adjustments. I couldn't do that with all my food allergies.